Nigeria and its criminal justice system. So that will also open your eyes to understanding that it is not only by the law that is keeping Nnamdi Kanu there. No constitution is keeping him there. It is influence that is keeping him there. It's not only constitution that is keeping him there, but it is also influence that is also keeping Nnamdi Kanu there. So influence from the federal government, either from between, other from Southeast governors. That a lot of people are aware that tomorrow that Nnamdi Kanu will be facing Justice J.Omotosho of the Federal High Court, Abuja, following the removal of Justice Binta Nyako as the judge handling the case. Now, about 2 days ago, the family of Nnamdi Kanu made us to understand that Nnamdi Kanu will be facing Justice Omotosho to defend himself tomorrow. But the news coming to us right now is that Nnamdi Kanu has decided to retain the former counsels who have been handling his case. That is like Maswendo Para, Barrister Nena, and Ejimako. But what Nnamdi Kanu did is to, pick another lead counsels that will lead the proceedings tomorrow for him. And one of them is the former Attorney General of the Federation, 2 times Attorney General of the Federation for that matter, Kanu Agabi, Senior Advocate of Nigeria, and Njoku, also Senior Advocate of Nigeria. So these 2 people are going to join his legal team. So with this, I think Nnamdi Kanu will not defend himself alone. So I think tomorrow, this 2-time Attorney General of the Federation and former Senator will be leading the case for Nnamdi Kanu tomorrow. So that is the news on the ground. Now let us understand the details of the news. The article reads that breaking ex-Attorney General of the Federation Kanu Agabi, Uchenna Njoku joins Nnamdi Kanu's legal team. The details reads former Attorney General of the Federation AGF Kanu Agabi, Senior Advocate of Nigeria, and Senior Advocate of Nigeria Uchenna Njoku have joined the legal team defending the detained leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, Nnamdi Kanu. Sahara Reporters has exclusively learned. Agabi, a former senator and 2-time Attorney General of the Federation, is expected to lead Kanu's legal team, currently headed by IPOB Special Counsel Barrister Ejimako, according to a source familiar with the case. The source confirmed that Kanu has retained his existing legal teams, which includes Maxwell Obara and Ne Amaka Ejiofor, ensuring a comprehensive defense strategy as his trial resumes. Kanu, who was controversially released from Kenya in June 2021, remain in the custody of the Department of State Service, DSS. His next court appearance is scheduled for Friday, that is tomorrow, March 21st, before Justice James Omotosho of the Federal High Court, Abuja. Now, I think Nnamdi Kanu really know what is good for him. He know what is better for him. So with the new judge handling the case, I think it is important they also add this, learned and more experienced Senior Advocate of Nigeria to their team. When they said new level, new devil, I think that is the strategy that these people want to employ. That since they are having a new judge, okay, let us take people who are familiar with the judgment of James Omotosho. Anyway, we'll have a lot of things to discuss. Stay with me to the end of this video. The article continues that the latest legal maneuvers follow a judicial reshuffle in Kanu's case. Sahara Reporters have reported that Kanu's trial will start afresh after the recusal of Justice Binta Nyako, the former presiding judge. Initially presided over by Justice Binta Nyako, the case was reassigned to Justice Omotosho after Kanu and Ejimako publicly called for a change in judicial oversight. The request was made after an unsuccessful attempt to return the case to Justice Nyako. Legal analysts believe that Agabi and Njoku's joining of Kanu's defense team signal a renewed push for a robust legal strategy in challenging the charges against him. The upcoming hearing is expected to set the tone for the fresh trial, proceeding as Kanu continues to fight for his release amid mounting legal and political tension. All right. I think this is a right step in the right direction. And then Nnamdi Kanu retaining his existing legal team is also good as well. But I have to set the record straight. I really want to state that the, Binta Nyako, who was handling Nnamdi Kanu's case, he was not acting alone. she was not acting alone. In judicial term, I think they call her he. So she was not acting alone. When I mean she was not acting alone, a learned person cannot be seeing the Supreme Court judgment and cherry picking the ones she want to use to nail the defendant. It doesn't happen like that. So that is her part. Who knows whether the new Justice James Omotosho, is it not the same system we have in Nigeria? But let us see the influence of these people joining them. Now, I want to explain to you what I learned from Tendefaro Timi's book, okay? Nigeria and its criminal justice system. It shows that the relationship between the lawyer handling the case and the judge presiding over the case has a lot to do with the way whether the defendant will be released or not the law. That is what I learned from Tendefaro Timi's book. And that means that if these people they pick now is familiar with James Omotosho, meaning they will influence his decision. That is what I learned from that book, Nigeria and its criminal justice system. So that will also open your eyes to understanding that it is not only by the law that is keeping Namdi Kanu there. No constitution is keeping him there. It is influence that is keeping him there. It's not only constitution that is keeping him there, but it is also influence that is also keeping Namdi Kanu there. So influence from the federal government, either from between, other from Southeast governors. But they needed someone, if actually Kanu will be released by Judicial, of which I'm not thinking about that. If he will be released by the Judicial, they needed someone who will be able to nail the judge through his influence. That is a part. Now, the IPOB has raised another allegation, not allegation, but it's what we have confirmed to be true. That anytime Namdi Kanu is going to court, that they spend 500 million. That is what federal government embezzled. Just imagine. So it's another business. They are using Namdi Kanu to do business. This is what we know right from time. Omoyonde has narrated this time with that number. Take a listen.
What appearance that Mazi Namdi Kanu comes out for, the DSS makes as much as 500 million naira. Yes. You are hearing that from somebody who has been in that same position where Mazi Namdi Kanu has been. And as such, if an organization like the DSS makes that much money, do you think they would want to release Mazi Namdi Kanu?
Never.
So we see where his continuous detention is coming from.
Going anywhere.
No judge, just like our guest has said, no judge has found anything incriminating about Mazi Namdi Kanu.
He's been discharged twice.
He's been discharged twice.
Even if the Supreme Court said it, that it was Nigerian government that violated his bail by invading his compound, that he didn't jump bail. That was what the Supreme Court ruled.
In the previous court proceeding, Mazi Namdi Kanu promised that he is going to defeat the federal government in the same court, that they don't have anything against him, that previously they charged him with treasonable felony, and he asked, where is the treason now? Because the charges have been thrown into the mud. So from all angles, it seems that what Omoyonde is saying that the DSS, the Department of State Service, are benefiting from the continuous detention of Mazi Namdi Kanu. Just imagine where you have an office where you can have 500 million naira every 2 or 3 months that they adjourn the case to. Could this be the reason why Namdi Kanu have not been released? Let us listen to the end of the interview.
You've been in DSS detention. Another Nigerian who has been very vocal like you was also been in DSS detention and who has solicited so much attention from Nigerians. It's Namdi Kanu.
Yes.
I'm sure you might have had interactions with him. Sorry if I call him Mazi Namdi Kanu.
Yes.
That is a title that his followers have bestowed upon him, Mazi Namdi Kanu, MNK. And this is a man that has passionate followership. He has passionate, loyal followership from a certain region of Nigeria and all over the world. From your experience with him and all that, what do you think? Is there his followers would be watching and they want to know, do you think in any nearest future Mazi Namdi Kanu will be released, or you think that the Nigerian government will continue to play their hanky-panky game to keep him in detention? What should his followers expect from the Nigerian government?
You see, nobody can hold him down. It's just a matter of time. They will have to leave him and leave him forever. This is what happened to leaders of social movements that are unique in their origin, in their makeup, composure, and character. They will come, the state will go after them, but they'll become stronger as much. The more oppression they get, the stronger they become, the more passionate followers they command. So what Nigerian state is trying to do is to see if they can break him. But unfortunately, he has passed that stage. He can't be broken anymore. Even if he breaks at this point, he has created an unbreakable movement and message. So the best you can do is to find accommodation with him. And you saw what he did in court last time. It shows that he's still very much cognitively aware of his role in history. It's the same thing I told them when before they arrested me in 2019, that there's no judge that has ever tried history and succeeded. We are people of history. And that's what came to pass. One day, they were the ones who went to court and said, "My lord, we want to withdraw the charges against you." But I told them from day one, I told the judge, they were religious, I said, "This is rubbish, madam." Say, read the judgment, read the charges. I said, when they finished reading, I said, "I don't understand." But my lawyer said, "I should plead not guilty." The judge was riled. I'm looking at her, she was a very pesky judge like that. I'm looking at her, I said, "Look at this one."
What's the judge's name? Let's call it.
J.Omotosho.
J.Omotosho.
Yeah. Eventually, she was transferred out of Abuja. I heard she wasn't happy because she felt she was used. But I don't hold any grudge against her. That is her historical role in what I came to do. And the moment that part is over, she had to move on. They even asked her to continue to be coming for my case. He says she's not doing it. Because maybe when the case first came to her table, she didn't know the gravity of what was coming. That she was standing in the way of a tsunami. And when she realized what it was, she had to just step aside. And that's what happened.
So categorically, the judiciary is being held to hold Namdi Kanu.
Oh, absolutely. There's all those pronouncements you are seeing in the court system it has nothing to do with the judge. See, what they do is that they write these things for the judges. This is what we want you to say today over this Kanu's matter. Because basically, even other justices in the Nigerian system, including the Supreme Court, practically declare that Nnamdi's case doesn't exist. There's no case against him. Even if they try him for 10 years, they cannot present any evidence. But what they will do is that they will never go to evidence. They'll just be adjourning, come today, come tomorrow, you file this, it's okay. Because all they need to do to waste your time in Nigeria, they adjourn 3 times a year. The judges, they go on vacation from December till around February. Then in February, when they call your case, they push it to April, June. In June, they go for vacation for 2 months. So your case will not come back on September. By September, they are in December. That's what they do.
So they continue detention.
In my case, for instance, we were in court for 5 years. They presented only 1 witness.
In 5 years?
In 5 years.
The state of Nigeria presented just
one DSS guy who said he saw me at Ikeja, that I said there was going to be a protest.
And that's
the only witness.
For Namdi Kanu,
they have not presented any. There's nobody that I'm aware of. And I go to court on his behalf every day, but they will never allow me to enter the court. They're always waiting for me. I still went to court before the last hearing, and I was struggling with the DSS people outside there. I have footage of it. They collected my phone, I collected it back. It was a scuffle. It was a scuffle in front of the court, because I told them, I said, if it's not that Nigeria is useless, how can DSS come in front of the Federal High Court? Some of them don't even have YX certificate. To now be marking the name of lawyers. I told the lawyer, your MBA in Nigeria is useless. How can DSS be telling which lawyer can enter Federal High Court and which lawyer? And I told the DSS guy when they came and were returning my phone to me, I said, why are you wasting your time bringing Kanu to the court here? Just use one of your conference rooms, find a kangaroo judge, go and sentence him there. Why are you doing all this drama? But the reason they bring Kanu to court is they make a lot of money from bringing him to court. They spend an average of 500 million naira per bringing him to court.
So,
yes.
Who makes that money?
It's the DSS.
DSS.
Yes. the DSS budget is not scrutinized like everywhere. It's just spent.
It's like security votes.
So they just say, we are taking Kanu to court. So we brought this number of
We
cases.
need this number
We
of
block everywhere. All our security agents are there. Blah blah blah. It's all the scam. So all those paparazzi you are saying.
This is the kind of revelations that we bring forth when we have our amazing interviews on IC Magazine. The continued detention of Mazin Namdi Kanu within the DSS premises of the Nigerian government is a money-making scheme for the DSS.
You can quote me anywhere, anything.
For every court appearance that Mazin Namdi Kanu comes out for, the DSS makes as much as 500 million naira.
Yes.
You are hearing that from somebody who has been in that same position where Mazin Namdi Kanu has been. And as such, if an organization like the DSS makes that much money, do you think they would want to release Mazin Namdi Kanu?
Never.
So we see where his continuous detention is coming
It's not
from.
going anywhere.
No judge, just like our guest has said, no judge has found anything incriminating about Mazin Namdi Kanu.
He's
But
been
he's
discharged twice. Like,
He's been discharged twice.
Even if Supreme Court said it, that it was Nigerian government that violated his bail by invading his compound, that he didn't jump bail. That was what the Supreme Court ruled. But in their own usual confusion and rigmarole, they said, well, let him still go back and answer the rest of the charges. So what the judge would have done is to reinstate his bail, since it was the army that went to get his bail. But it's Nigeria now.
Thank you so much for listening to the end of this wonderful interview. Actually, I believe what J.Omotosho said. What do you think about it yourself? Do you think that the continuous detention of Namdi Kanu is caused by this, infringement or benefit that the DSS are gaining from the federal government? Because from all angles, when you read the Supreme Court judgment, of which I have read, you could say that from a layman's language, you would understand that Namdi Kanu has been, free from all charges, that he did not jump bail and so on and so forth. So we do not see why the continuous detention of this man continues to linger us.
Because I have a court order. You have released yourself. I have a court order. Anybody who disagrees with this order of court, go to appeal court. That's what you tell me all the time. You are from this official. You cannot preside over this case number again. Not in this life. You cannot. Not now, not tomorrow, not ever. A woman here cannot force this court to preside on my case. You cannot. Not today, not till forever. You are recused and you stand recused. Tell the chief judge, not the kind of said, go on appeal. I recused him from my case. The state recused Justice Agabi from my case. I did not insist Agabi must hear my case. I never insisted. So why must you insist to hear my case? I don't want you in my case. I don't need you in my case. You are biased. You are biased. You cannot be in my case. A woman should do the right thing. A chairman of the board of mentors prosecution is impropriety. Nowhere in the world such nonsense law. You cannot be hobnobbing with lawyers, hobnobbing with justices, and you're prosecuting a case. It's shameful. Absolutely shameful. Shameful. This is not a court of law. This is a shrine to injustice. And I will not subject myself to it. You stand recused and you must leave my case. You cannot write me. This man is not paying attention. There is an order of recusal. And he's a senior advocate, for goodness sake. There's an order of recusal. Is that not the rule of law? The law says if you disagree with this, you go and appeal. You are a grown-up man. Because of 300 million, you're behaving like a child. Go and appeal. Because of money. Because of money that pay you from ATM surface, you are here standing and smoking evil. Because of money. A grown-up man like you say you are going to behave like a man of honor. The rule of law says you go and appeal. His lordship Peter, you will not try my case. Not on this planet Earth, I'm telling you that now. So stop wasting your time. Of course, an order of law says Justice Peter Nyako is recused. An order of court. Order she made as an order. The same Chief Justice writing the stupid memo he's writing. I recused him. He was functus official. He sat on appeal. I took him to NJC. I recused him. Why did he not say I must sit on your case? Why in the case of his lordship is he insisting? He wants to embarrass her. He wants to embarrass your lordship by asking her to come and sit on this case. Is that what you're saying? There's an order of give it to him. He doesn't have it. Give him an order of court. It's an order of court. Give it to him. He doesn't have it. And order, give it. He doesn't have it. It's an order of court. If you have no respect for yourself, I will insult you. Because you are telling the law. When it comes to Namdi Kanu, you turn the law upside down. The law says one thing. If the law says this paper is white, when I go to court, they say it's black. When I say it's black, they say it's white. Is that law? I'm asking you, a senior advocate of Nigeria, is that law? Is the memo from Chief Judge? Is memo from Chief Judge sufficient to set aside and a court order? The answer is no. Why do you want to change the law in my own case? His Lordship, Justice Netanyahu, stand recused in my case. Cannot try me. Why don't you get it? Giving you definitely get for trial so you can do your mathematics you always do. People without shame. I have here before me for the benefit of Chief Awomono because it seems he doesn't know the law. So I will tell him. This is national judicial policy of this country. Please give them a copy each. National judicial policy of Nigeria. National judicial policy. I will tell you what it says. Because you don't know, I will tell you. Talking about memo from the Chief Judge of the High Court. Judicial policy of Nigeria. 1C. I'm reading. Verbatim. In the performance of judicial functions, the judge is subject only to the law and must only consider the law. The rule of law in every common law jurisdiction in the world is that once an order of court is entered, the only way to set aside is by going on appeal. That's the rule of law. So the senior advocate, you don't know. I will go to see. A judge must not take or attempt to take orders or instructions of any kind from anyone, even the chief judge, from anybody, that may influence his decisions in the performance of judicial function. It means that his lordship, having entered an order of court, a decision, to myself.
Yes, of course, it's going to be a free man indeed. That's the expectation of everybody around the world, considering the fact that the Nigerian government has not been able to establish any case against him. Forget that they moved from treason to felony to treason. I think they have been moving up and down in that regard. And the same thing is applicable to, of course, Simon Ekpa. I can tell you categorically clearly now that this pressure on Finland to determine the position of Simon Ekpa, considering the support, that is coming in from that, Western world, like Russia. A lot of people are mounting pressure around Alexander Stubb now to see what they are going to do in the aspect of liberating or freeing freedom government, people who are agitating for their sovereignty, which is really the world is trying to look into that, and so much attention has been attracted to what is happening to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu or what is happening in Nigeria. It's regarding Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has become, they have factored Nigeria into Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, and every other thing is going towards that direction. If you look at how Nigeria got to the level where it is, this Nnamdi Kanu just started this agitation, this movement from just a plastic chair and a plastic table. That is all. If you look at the beginning of the whole thing, you discover that there's a lot of strength and divinity into what is happening. His appearance in the court today, I can tell you how many judges and how many times Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has appeared in court, and you can find out for yourself that at every point in time, he has always won every charge against him. The problem where everybody is looking at that attracted US delegates, up to 20 of them, the news is everywhere. The world is not joking. Nnamdi Kanu has built, carved an inch for himself, has built an image for himself to the extent that, he has become recognized. I think there's no other freedom fighter agitator in the world you can talk about now, currently now, that have made the requirement of the United Nations, that have shown resilience, they have shown confidence, they have shown integrity, they have shown that, Biafra is achievable, that Biafra is passionate, Biafra has become a religion. He's so committed to it, and he's attracting a lot of followers. Nigerians, are beginning to buy into the concept of what the symbol of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is trying to portray. Even in the midst of uncertainty and danger, Nnamdi Kanu still summoned the courage to confront the Nigerian system over illegality. He said there's nobody that can judge him, there's no judge that can judge him. And saying that also, you can see all manner of judges that has been able to hear the matter or try to engage themselves in the trial or even trying to run a certain persecution or the other, they have all come to a particular point where they said nobody, they have seen this case as Nnamdi Kanu has always had an upper hand in that regard. So what you are seeing that is building at this moment now is a clear desire that the Biafran recognition has enveloped Nigeria completely. And how did it envelop Nigeria? What we saw Omotosho is going to do by tomorrow